I would first like to thank Ms. Solomon for creating a great environment in the classroom this year. I loved waking up to class every morning and knowing that I was going to be able to come into class and learn something new every day. And it allowed us, to be ourselves, the great environment that she created there, and not really worry about being uncomfortable and showing up to class, feeling like there's some type of uneasiness in our stomachs. Also, for us to not have any judgy pants and no one to criticize us or look at us a certain way, really, allowed for everyone to be themselves and reflect, you know, who they are in a sense. So first, I'm going to talk about how I have improved throughout this semester, and then talk about how my peers and I all got along as a whole in the environment in the classroom. I learned a lot from myself this year, through the summer, through the whole, in general, the whole college experience. I am able to basically talk more about myself and understand how much time it takes for me to say write a speech, for me to get ready in the morning, and for me to go from not really ever waking up before 11 o'clock to all of a sudden having to be at class again by 8 a.m. was a big shift for me, and I was really, learned a lot about myself on how I can basically be able to go to class without having any problems and be able to get up in the morning. Um, I also know what my habits are. As you can tell, I probably already said it, but I say it a lot as a word filler instead of just going through and busting it out. I use it instead of in a sense, as well as body language, too much movement, and that kind of stuff, which I've really cut down on, and I thought that I've done a really good job with. I have learned, the basics when it comes to, writing the speech and creating an outline when it comes to that stuff. I haven't really had any issues. I've been doing really well with that, and I've learned a lot when it comes to um, understanding what it takes for me to put into a good speech, how much research, what I need to do in a sense to prepare myself. And I think to learn, lastly, the most important thing for me was creating a good note card, being able to understand the bullet points and being able to know really easily, the organization and the flow of your speech, just through your note card is really, really helpful and has, led me to present some good speeches in my opinion. So now that I've talked about myself a little bit, I'm going to talk about, reflect on my peers and how much they have learned from me and I've learned from them. I'm really glad to know that I got to know a lot of my peers this year. They inspired me in a sense when we talk about, the gay community, when we talked about, military for a sense, and as well as, Black Lives Matter. Those are all great topics that I found really interesting, and it was really nice to know the different viewpoints of my classmates as well as myself, and to be able to talk about my views and express my opinions on that without being embarrassed because we have the rule of no judging pants. It made being able to know my classmates and being able to be friends with them and interacting with them made it really enjoyable to come to class. I wouldn't mind coming to class, and I would be awake and alert because everyone was be there for each other, trying to help each other out and make each other better in a sense all the time. We were very open with each other, which was very helpful in being able to understand each other's weaknesses and strengths, and what I think would help them and what they think would help me in a sense. And that is really helpful when it comes to, us exposing who we are to each other. That just, helps us out tremendously and when it comes to public speaking because it's one of the most feared things in the world. My favorite part of the year was our discussion about the class discussion that we had about the speech that we all went to go see. I thought that it was a big turning point in the year to where we all kind of hopped on board and knew that this was going to be a good thing, and we all wanted to learn from it, and it helped us learn more about each other and grow and talk about issues going on within the world. So in the end, I'm very glad and thankful that I took this class. I wasn't going to, but I decided that I needed to, and I'm really glad and thankful for the teacher that I have, you, Ms. Solomon, as well as my classmates around me. I'm very comfortable now with public speaking, and that has really actually helped me out here in Japan because I've had to give a speech last night about talking to the Japanese people as well as the mayor of Kagoshima. So I just have to give, one more thanks to Miss Solomon as well as my peers for helping me get through this summer and having a great time.